But yeah, just shout out to him in the match and Gunther, and yeah, good match, good match.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Mr. Exclusive, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
I mean, it was all right. I mean, I will say this. I thought it was a good match overall. I think both guys gave us all they had. And what they want done out of this was done. They want Gunther to be this super they want people to hate him. They're doing a really good job of having people just hate this man. And I think that's what they wanted out of it. And that's what they're getting out of it. Like he's here. They've already set the stage. He's the career killer. They scared me a little bit when that men's rumble came around, but we'll get to that later. But I mean, I like the match overall. I like the match overall. I love what I saw from I definitely love what I saw from AJ. I got a little nervous. I saw him take the gloves off. And so I'm putting it back on. I said, yes, thank the Lord. Here's me yelling, get out the ring, AJ. Just get out the ring. You don't leave your boots there, buddy. Just keep moving. That's all I said. So good match. AJ gave it his all. We expected it, and I was good with it overall.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Korrey, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
It's what I expected, to be honest with you. Nothing surprised me about this match. I was very enamored with the fact that it was an actual technical match. Not like, John Cena 5 moves of doom that we saw and, that's it. It was actually a match on the way out, and for AJ, man, he is this generation Shawn Michaels. There is a conversation that can be had, and I even said it recently, like, if people don't think that you can compare Shawn Michaels and AJ Styles in the ring, then I think that their wrestling IQ might need to be checked. He wanted to go out on top, and I'm loving this wave of wrestlers now that's not, Ric Flair in it, as I like to call it. You well beyond your time. And saying, you know what, I'm gonna go out on my terms. I'm gonna go out being able to go, spend time with my family, be with my kids, all that stuff. So, I was cool with it. It was a good match overall. It's just about who Gunther might be eyeballing next, and I'm gonna hold that until we get to that point.
Okay.
I feel that. Drew, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
Hey, you all say great things about it, but I would say it was somewhat poetic when you look back at 2016 and him coming into the WWE at the Royal Rumble, and then he gets to go out at the Royal Rumble 10 years later. Not to the day, but 10 years after he comes in, he's going out from the event that he came into in front of a big crowd. Another big point, too, when you look at the fact of how many people were in that crowd and how quick that stadium came together, not just with the people coming in, but the fact that it was built in like 30 days.
It's crazy.
And then you have this type of match 30 days, well, a little bit more than 30 days after John Cena's retirement match. So Gunther is on a hot streak. In less than a year, he's retired Goldberg, AJ Styles now, and just before that, the man I'm wearing the shirt of, the 17th time. You can't see me, never seen 17, John Cena. But it was definitely something that now, are we going to get to the point to where every time Gunther has a retirement match with somebody that is automatically going to win? Because
it feels that way.
When we had the Goldberg situation, when that match came, we all knew that Goldberg was losing and he was on his way out. He needed one last match, and these past two have definitely been better retirement matches than that was. But, when you look at tonight, AJ Styles, he did put on a great show on his way out. Yeah. He's had several great matches within the past year, within his entire run, and the fact that this man started big time as far as in WCW, and he still was wrestling at the level that he was in his late 40s today. It was great to see. I'm glad he gets to go out on top. I just wish we had a little bit more time with him like everybody else does, because the man has not lost a step yet. And John Cena, it was obvious on his way out, he lost a little bit because he spent a lot of time in Hollywood and wasn't as active and had a little bit of ring rust. Right. AJ Styles has been in it the entire time, so he never did lost a step. I'm going to miss him because today's WWE superstars that are coming up are lacking the connection with the fans like those before them, like AJ Styles had, and John Cena and the Undertakers and those who have retired within the last half decade. I'm truly going to miss him, but I was glad to see that he was able to go out with a good match.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I feel you. I feel you, man. I think that's just the biggest thing for me. I think, you know, the fact that we did get to see AJ Styles still doing it at a high level. And again, I think for me, just as long as my man ain't tap out, that's just enough for me, man. Just
Yeah.
because now you ain't on the list, or you tapped out like a little. Come on now. So, so yeah.
Look, Gunther just gonna say you passed out like a little, you know, as they just
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
throw an extra word in there. Why not?
I passed out because you can never say that I tapped out like you did on Raw a couple weeks ago. So
Come
it's
on,
all
man.
right, Gunther. It's all right. Oh man, but let's go ahead and talk about this next one, man. Come on. Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. I ain't gonna lie. Glad Drew won it.
Yes.
Glad Drew won it. I couldn't be more than happier than ever. I ain't gonna cap, man. Look, I'm gonna just say this and I'm gonna let y'all go. I think the main thing for me, the fact that, I'm like, again, a few things I thought about. I said, okay, as long as Sammy doesn't just somehow re-enter himself back into the Rumble, I'm good with that, which didn't happen. And we're going to talk about Drew because, man, Drew, you was a menace for what you did at the Rumble, boy. But the main thing for me, I like how he beat Drew. I like how Drew beat Sammy clean, 100% clean. I said, this is what I need. You need to beat Sammy clean. Good. Lovable loser. Get him out of here. Let's go ahead and just eliminate that thought of Sammy. I done been past this. I was with it. Y'all remember, I said this about months ago. Probably like in October or September. I said, I can see Sami Zayn winning the Royal Rumble because they started setting that up. Well, now, then he wanted to go on the U.S. title run. Now you want to go back to being a world champion because your son says he's never seen you. I don't give a damn no more. I don't care, bro.
F them kids.
I'm done, bro. Like
That's crazy.
That
work.
whole thing with him, man, I'm telling you, I'm just about done with it. I'm about sick of it. I was kind of to the point with Sami Zayn, the whole thing with him, just the whole I'm trying to get a champion. I need to be a world champion. Bro, you could have been a world champion 2 years ago. We're kind of past that point now. And again, they low-key almost had me sold because the last couple of weeks on SmackDown, him smacking Drew, I said, damn, I don't know. And then I'm just glad the fact that they didn't do this to Drew because honestly, I ain't no cap, man. If y'all would have had Drew lose that title, I think they know too. I think they knew, we probably shouldn't take the title off Drew. If y'all would have took that title off for Drew, people would have been pissed. Majorly pissed. And I know I would have been one of those main ones. And I know for a fact Mr. Xclusive would have been one of the main ones pissed off.
Already know. You already know.
He would have been one of the main ones pissed off because you sitting there, you gave my man Drew a 5-week title run, and then you take it from him.
Nope.
Well, he better be the next one to win the Rumble if that was the case. But I'm glad that didn't happen, honestly. I really am. It looks like my laptop is messing up. Mr. Xclusive, if you could take over for me real quick, add me on.
Look, I think I can make it. I think I can make it happen a little bit.
Okay.
Look, I'll go into it a little bit. I don't go too deep. Look, the right man won. Right, the right man won this match. And if you're looking up for a WrestleMania setup, you got to see what makes sense in these situations. You know what I'm saying? And Drew made sense. If you have Sammy win, well, who do you really have Sammy go at? Who do you have Sammy go or go after Sammy? And is Sammy gonna sell, WrestleMania? Because let's be honest with you, the Rumble winner, which we'll get to in a minute, is gonna sell WrestleMania. That's the whole purpose of why it's the way it is. There's a lot of us. There's some people upset because of certain reasons, which, like I said, we'll get into. But they had the right man win. And it was too early, man. If this man would have lost his title, I would have been heated. I would have been heated. So
that means a bum is insane.
Yeah, Sammy's a bum. Yeah, look, dress like a bum, look like a bum. Let me tell you something. Look,
he's a bum.
He's a bum. But look, the lovable loser does what he does best. The lovable loser does what he does best. He loses loving. He uses it in a loving way. So he's done for. There's still the elimination chamber, so there's still a glimmer of hope that could happen. I don't see that happening, but the right man won. And Drew McIntyre's reign, which should last, and I'll keep saying it till I'm blue in the face, at least 10 months to a year at the minimum 10 months. That's just me.
Yeah,
makes up for the pandemic run.
Exactly.
It does.
Exactly, Drew.
It does.
Exactly.
It does. It does, man. Heartbreak Prince, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
Well, first of all, shout out to Big Jack. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
And of
Big
course,
Jack's a
One Night
guy.
Bates. Thanks for joining us. I don't know how much you can really, beat a dead horse here because, we didn't see Sammy beating Drew, or at least I didn't see Sammy beating Drew. And, I told my wife as we were watching it, he came out, I said, Sammy walking out like he's about to lose the match. He just didn't have, and then his music, it's like Sammy has to change. It's like something about Sammy needs to like he needs to kind of reinvent himself in a way, because like his music, you see him being the world heavyweight champion, coming out to his music. His music is very happy. It's a bop, like just cheer you up, but it's not. It's like the package of him. It's just missing something there. But I'm glad Drew was able to to keep the title, maintain the championship, because I do think it's good for for Drew, the build, for him carrying the brand and the way that he's doing it as far as being a heel, just even the way he interacted with people at the Royal Rumble. I'm glad they made this decision here, because it was that little bit of they're in Sammy's like home country, and will they pull the trigger here? It's the perfect opportunity for them to do it, to have that little social media pop that you talk about all the time. And so, it was a little bit of that in there, but Drew, he deserves it. I do, agree that, he needs to carry it into WrestleMania, for sure. And to at least give Drew that, if you decide to go a different way in there, it wouldn't really surprise me, because, it's kind of how WWE is with, title reigns and things of that nature. But I think Drew deserved this run. Still a good match. Sammy puts on a good match. He always does. He's an excellent in-ring wrestler. It's just, it probably goes back to what Drew said a minute ago. It's that connection to the fans. I don't know if it's there all the way with Sammy. There's something missing, because when you think about Sami Zayn and you think about Kevin Owens, what does Kevin Owens do better than Sami Zayn, where you just feel that connection with Kevin Owens? But with Sami Zayn, you say stuff like he's a bum. It's like, I don't know how we get that comparison there, because Sammy is such a good talent in the ring. And then when you put that bum with KO and you put them together, the matches they deliver, it's like, man, Sami Zayn is there. The match with Roman Reigns a few years ago, you like, man, Sami Zayn is there. And then you just, I don't know. But that's what I got to say about it. Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre, great match. They went with the right horse there, and let Drew keep the title. So yeah, good. That was good. That was a good decision.
I don't think he capping calling him a bum, though. I don't think he capping about that one.
He called that man a bum and didn't even think twice about it.
Like he called him a bum.
He said,
yeah, he's a
little
bum.
bit more. He's a bum.
Poor guy. Poor Sammy.
Korrey, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
If y'all don't mind, I would like to pass it off to Brother Willingham over there, because I got something to just cap all this off. So if you don't mind, you let Drew
Okay.
Give it to D.
What's your
Willie.
thoughts, man? What you think?
I will take that volley and spike it on over for you. With saying Sammy's a bum. It's like saying that he walked down to the ring like Hornswoggle and got the expletive beat out of him, okay? Because he didn't completely get the expletive beat out of him. He did, towards the end. It was decided. We knew going into it that he was going to lose, but he did put up a decent fight, right? Sammy, yes, 2 years ago was his time. A lot of great things you guys are bringing up with, some of these guys who we're seeing now. Like, and we'll get to another one here in a little bit. They're getting their flowers when it's too late. Like the creative is trying to backtrack here, and that's what it seems like they're doing by giving
That's
Sammy
a good point, Drew. That's a good point.
That's really good.
A title opportunity at Royal Rumble. Like, you're backtracking here. So you guys, think that everybody out here, and I'm saying you guys, like the creative team out there, I guess, is trying to make amends with the fans, because you hear it in the after show. You effed up because people were expecting Y2J to show up tonight. We hadn't even gotten to that match yet, but we'll talk more about that later. Right here with the Sami Zayn situation, they're backtracking, in my opinion. And we're seeing something that should have happened 2 years ago, except for 2 years ago, we should have seen the title on Sami Zayn. And that's how I feel about it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like
that
it
was
too.
great
I like
points
it
right
too.
there, Drew.
That was a really good point, Drew. The backtrack is real. The backtrack is real, and 2 years definitely was the time, especially like when that Roman match in Toronto. That was the time.
Phenomenal.
And obviously they weren't going to do it because of Cody and him setting up for that. But if it was going to happen, that the whole him turning him on at the Rumble, the setup of that was the time. And now it's like, how do you get that time back? You know. So
and I was there that
100%.
that week before Elimination Chamber. They was in Greenville. The pop in that building when he took his hoodie off. I mean, they went insane, including myself. But I said, man, I ain't never been in an arena with a pop that loud. That roof blew off. So, yeah, I think that was his best moment. I agree with you, Drew.
Yep.
Korrey, your time is now. What's your thoughts, man? What you think?
Can't see him. The time is now.
And, you know, I don't want to be spotlighted because I want to see y'all's face when I
want to see our
when I
faces.
say this here.
Okay, yeah.
So, when you think about
no Diddy, pull back out.
It's three things that I want to get to. Number one, you know, Heartbreak Prince, you brought up the point of like, what's the difference between Sammy and KO, right? KO is more authentic. And it's not Sammy's fault that he doesn't come off as authentic, but people relate more to KO. KO, when he does his promos, it's with passion. You know, Sammy, when he comes off and does his promos, he tends to lose his voice, and then he's trying to catch himself back, and then he loses the essence. Yeah, he loses the entire essence of his promo at that point, right? Breaking connection. You know, the music, I think the music has a whole lot to do with it. Because I mean, I don't want to, every time I see you, I got to think about I'm on you know, like, you know, I don't want that, you know, like it's got to be a little more. He can still be Sami Zayn, but be a little more serious, I guess, be taken seriously.
Right.
That's number one. Number two, you asked about his kid. His kid wants to see him to be a world champion, but you know what he can do? He can go to his kid and proudly say that he's the world champion of participation awards.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
100%, bro.
They get those out. They get those out. They get those out.
It's like those.
Just say, you know what, son? I had the most world title opportunities and I didn't do it. But you know what? You can. You can do it. And then when I think about the totality of the match itself, between Drew, and this is no shade to Drew, because I think Drew is getting what he deserved, and he has rightfully deserved this title run for years. But when I think about it, one thing comes to mind.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
No.
Oh, that's tough, man. That's tough.
Man brought up the trash can, man.
I know.
Get it out of here. Get it out of here.
That was crazy.
Mic drop.
Oh my god.
That's great. That's great.
Man.
That makes me happy.
Oh,
I don't know
why. All right, man. Let's go ahead and talk about it. I think I want to talk. I think we're gonna talk about the women's first because that was the first match we seen. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Man, the women's Royal Rumble. Now, if y'all haven't seen,
spoiler alert.
Let me just put the camera on me when I come back. If y'all haven't seen it. Yeah, look, I'm happy. Okay, I feel like this is low-key a full circle moment for me and Liv Morgan. Look, Liv, look, I told you a few years ago. Actually, like a year and a half ago, I told you before. When they was calling you Mid Morgan, I said low-key. I felt that. Okay, and remember when you had that SmackDown Women's title, you came to Greenville. I told you, I booed
In her
you.
ear.
I booed you. I booed you because I couldn't stand it. And I was right there on the floor seats. Ladies trying to, I just want to be. I said, boo! Crowd followed up with me. Whole crowd. My wife was like, babe, I can't. I said, I can't believe it. This is terrible. I can't see this for Liv. But look how you turned around, girl. Look, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. You had the little feud with Rhea, that whole thing. You got Dirty Dom. Now look, you and Roxanne doing your thing, and you turned on Raquel. I said, well, hot damn. Leave you saying all this stuff about Raquel, about Rhea and Io. But now look who done turned the tables. I was proud of this one, boy. Look, I will keep giving a round of applause. Look, Liv, you earned this one. And it sucks. I hate to say it for Mr. Xclusive, because you done had her a couple of times.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Look.
We talked about. I don't want to talk about it. We talked about this earlier too. I said, watch. She wins it when I don't get her as a in the pick. So no, I don't want to talk about it. We good.
But look, I'm happy about this. Look, I'll tell you right now. To see Liv get it, I said, yeah, boy. But what I will say is this. Where the hell was Bianca at?
Yes.
That's a good question.
Where the hell was Bianca? We've been talking about this for a couple of months now. Yeah, I had my little hot praise. Now it's time to talk about the BS. Where was Bianca at? This was the time of the month. We said, look, Bianca got to come back. We got to have Bianca in the Rumble. Have her face Jade. No Bianca at all. No EST. No ponytail.
Yo, no ponytail.
I didn't see none of the I ain't seen none of that. I said, man, this is ridiculous. A lot of us was pissed off about that. I know Mother Night was. She texted me. She said, where's Bianca? I said, I don't know. I'm still trying to find her my damn self, Ma.
Right. Where is she? She's got to be here somewhere.
Telling you, man, that was the one thing that really grinded my gears, and I ain't talking Peter Griffin. This was ridiculous. Besides that, okay, number 30, Tiffany Stratton. Look, I wasn't mad about it neither, because that was one of my other picks. But still, come on. All right, look, and again, last thing, and I'm going to let y'all go. I had number 9. Okay, I had number 9. And who did I have for number 9?
Number 9.
Come on. The
On
man.
that New York.
Becky Lynch. Now, I wish
line.
Becky was in there longer. I would have felt so much happier. But I'm okay with it. Because the man has come around. All right, I'm done. Heartbreak Prince, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
First off, shout out to Blaine. Hey, that was another thing my wife pointed out. She was like, why does the stands look so empty? And I was like, honey, I
said the same thing.
I can't quite figure it out. I said, but I wonder if it has anything to do with women wrestling. I don't know if that's something, that the culture over in Saudi is still in agreement with. And so that's why, like, hardly no one was there, it seemed like, when the women was wrestling, which is kind of sad. But, I understand it's different in different cultures. But overall, the women's Royal Rumble was fine. If my pick was Bianca Belair, and myself, my wife, even my kids came down here to watch the entire women's Royal Rumble because they really wanted to see Bianca Belair. And when that 30 pick came out, because I kept saying, she's got to be 30. She's got to be 30. They're going to make you wait to the last one, because that's when you're going to get the biggest pop. Oh, she's returning. She's here. She's got to be 30. She's got to be 30. And then the music dropped, and it was Tiffany Stratton.
Tiffy time.
It's like a dad that failed everybody, failed the entire family. I looked.
I told you to leave. Get out of here.
Yeah, my wife is pissed. Looked over my oldest daughter's pissed. Looked over my youngest daughter's pissed. And then they've got their stuff and say, I'm leaving.
Yo,
they walked out the room. They didn't even watch the rest of the Rumble. They said, what? There's no Bianca? But you said Bianca was going to be in here.
Oh, so now you're a liar. So now you're a liar.
Man, damn, talk about a deadbeat
from
dad.
My chest. I said, I'm sorry, babies. I thought she was going to be in here. Like, I thought this would be the time to bring her back. They brought back Barbie, and we were looking for Bianca, And so it's it's insane. It was insane.
That's
but
great.
the women's Royal Rumble at that point, once it wasn't Bianca, I was like, Liv has to win this. That's all we kept talking about. And here I was like, it has to be Liv. That's the next, person I would want to see win this Rumble. But just real quick, just so Korrey and Drew can drop, the fire nuggets that they've been dropping. Lash Legends is somebody that I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
The disrespect that she was receiving from the crowd in Saudi. But I want you to know, Lash, that here on U.S. soil, you are loved, baby.
Love, girl.
I love, baby.
The big Lash,
The big Lash.
the bougie bully. You are loved here, honey, and you were putting in work. I love to see it. I was hoping that the WWE creative team would allow you to do what you did. And so I'm so grateful for that. I'm so thankful for that. And, that's just my thing on it. I know the Saudi crowd, I couldn't tell, but at one point I thought they were chanting, "You're overrated," or something like that to her. I was like, this is disrespectful. Disrespectful. Yeah. I wanted her to go out there and just give boots to everybody in the crowd. But but Lash did her thing. Happy to see it. So yeah, shout out to Lash and Liv for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, especially with Lash, man. Definitely the MVP for me in that Royal Rumble besides my girl Liv. And I'm just glad the fact that Lash eliminated both of the Bellas.
Both.
I said, yeah, get him out of here.
Get out of
Get
here.
him out of here.
Oh my God.
Took about it.
Bland said Botox Barbie with no booty.
She might got a little booty in there. Come on.
Who knows?
We just ain't been looking. That's all. We just ain't been looking. That's all.
That's diabolical work right there.
That is.
Oh my God.
You crazy for that one. All right, Korrey, I see what you're doing up there. Stop that, young man. That's crazy. That's crazy what you're doing there. Look, so I'll put it like this, because like I said, I agree with HB Prince. Got to get this great knowledge from Drew and Korrey. So I like the Rumble overall. I thought they did a really good job of it. I think the right person won, because there could have been some other people they could have went with. I think one of the biggest things for me, I love seeing what Lashley. So shout out to HP Prince for calling that. He said, "Hey, look," he said, "she's gonna be the most impactful," and she did that. I think what we did was got a chance to see her kind of shine. So I didn't expect her to win it, but for her to get as far as she did, I love that. I also want to give a shout out to Raquel Rodriguez, because I thought she was having a really solid Rumble until Liv eliminated. But what they did was they set the table. So if Raquel wins on Monday, and shout out to my man Larry Patterson, he said, Darrell, I feel Shawn Michaels and Diesel from '95. And he said, that's what I think Liv and Raquel might end up being. And I said, I could definitely see that. And so they even kind of set the table in the post show, where they was like, well, you could end up facing Raquel. And then, Jackie was like, "Oh, be quiet. She says she'll make her choice when the time is right." So, and so I think that they're kind of laying the groundwork for that potentially. It could be a really good storyline heading into WrestleMania. And maybe we finally get the Judgment Day to break up, because it's long overdue. And like I said, there was some really good moments, and I really fairly enjoyed the Women's Rumble. The only one thing I will say is, when next time that Triple H said there's going to be a lot of surprises, we need to all personally go to him and chop him in his throat because of the lies this man told. If you're calling Brie Bella a surprise,
a lot of surprise.
It's not a surprise, man. Don't just say some veterans are coming back.
The crowd did pop for her.
Yeah, they pop for her more than they pop for Nikki. And
yes,
and so,
they did.
And there's just something about, I don't know. I feel like the Bella twins were one of those groups that were forced down, and like I said, no diddy, down our throats. And a lot of people are just never been, they just never been, cool with it. You know what I'm saying? So, for me, I'm glad that the way it ended the way it did. Liv deserved that. She's been in all 9 Royal Rumbles, the bridesmaid twice, and finally she gets the ring. So shout out to Liv Morgan.
Love it, man. Drew, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
There's a few aspects of this match that really grinding my gears.
Let's get it, baby.
Let's go, Drew.
When they kept bringing up the stat of how long Charlotte Flair was on, how long she'd been in the match.
Oh my God,
she was laying down every time that they brought it up. Like every single time, Charlotte Flair's been in it for 30 minutes. She's been in it for 45. She's been in it for 52. She's laying on the ground. Yeah, of course. You could be in the match for an hour if you take a nap for half of it. So that's how I felt when you're with it every single time. At one time, there was one time they had a stay on the screen where she'd been in there as long as she was. I couldn't even find her. Like, I didn't know where she was, because she was laying down underneath a couple other females, taking a nap, waiting for her spot in the ring until she got booted. But, Liv Morgan, along with, they list the women that have won from 2018 to now. She does deserve this Rumble win. I mean, looking back at all the ones that have won before her, Charlotte's won it twice before she got it once. And with what she's done with the Judgment Day, Rhea, in those storylines and what she's been able to bring to the table. Me personally, very happy to see that part. But when you have, of course, like you said, Brie Bella coming out and she's getting bigger pops than other females, it makes you question what they're doing creatively. Again, this is another jab at the creative. It makes you think of there's other opportunities that they could have with other ladies, just like in the men's division, to propel them to where they should be. But yet somebody's coming back who hadn't wrestled in like half a decade and getting that kind of pop at the level that she was, when you have all this other talent around you that's much better than her era even was. That's why my gears were grinded a little bit during this match. But the biggest grind that I had was Charlotte Flair laying on the ground every single time. They brought up the fact of how long she was in the match.
47 minutes.
47 minutes. Take it a snooze. Get up 5 seconds later and do your 20-second part, then lay back down again. That's how I felt with that. But overall, like you guys said with Lash Legend, she proved that she is going to be a force to deal with for many years to come. And, well, as long as they don't screw it up creatively. But that's my biggest fear when you have stars coming from NXT who Sean's done a really great job with. And at least when you look back at how it was pre-Triple H creative era in the main roster, we throw as much shade as we do, but can we at least say that he's done a better job with the NXT talent on the main roster than Vince did?
Because I would agree.
I feel like
as
much as we all throw shade at him for what he's done recently over the past 6 to 12 months, when he had as great of a run as he did, taking over from the previous era, the last, especially John Cena's, we're going to show right here, John Cena's farewell tour, we had a lot of questions within that. And 2026 is also starting off with some questions. And my biggest one is, how are you going to let somebody be in there for an hour who took a nap for half of it? That's what I got.
My girl was asleep. Is that my time yet? Get up, Charlotte, get up. Okay.
You know how they do the queen. They gonna treat the queen well. They ain't
gotta preserve the queen at all costs.
Yeah, that's how they
She's
do
well
it,
rested.
man. They love the queen, man.
And what up, Sick?
All hail the
Sick
queen.
Diggy, what up?
What up, Sick
Diggy?
Good to see you up on here, man. Good to see us on. Korrey, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
I'm gonna start off with this. I was scrambling to do this when y'all brought it up. I'm gonna see if it's gonna focus on it.
Put out an ABB.
Where's
she at, Charlie? Where's she
go? Like, this is getting ridiculous now. This is getting real ridiculous. The fact that we had it's Tiffy time. She's coming down to the ring hollering Tiffy time, can hardly breathe. She's getting ready to do, I think it was a swan time, talk about some what time? Like, if I hear you say this one more time, lady. One more time. Like, bro, come on, man. And then when you think about like the match itself, I think it suffered or it felt underwhelming because of the lack of crowd interaction. Like, they had lights in the seats to make it look like people were there, and they started to lift the lights up as the match went on. And I'm like, oh snap, where the hell are all these people at? You know, and I felt like it being plain and simple, like it was very, very disrespectful to the women in that match. I felt like certain ones shined and carried it. Y'all talked about Lash Legend. She was in my top 3 that I really thought needed this moment to establish her on the main roster. There are some other things that we could kind of look at to tweak and make her a lot better as a character, but performance-wise, she did amazing. Raquel and Liv, definitely, you know, that Diesel Shawn Michaels vibe. But here's the question that I have with that, though, is who's going to be face in this situation? Y'all know WWE, they got to have a face. They got to have a heel. I don't know why we always got to do this instead of just saying, you know what, we both want to go after the title and, you know, that be the story. That's what builds the story, is the title. I don't know why they have this obsession with face and heel, but somebody's got to go face. Somebody's got to go heel. I do not want Raquel to go heel. I don't want Liv to go heel. Both of them have been amazing as heels. Especially Raquel over the last, what would y'all say, 3-4 months?
Yeah, she's been killing it for about a month and a half now, solidly. I like what she's been doing.
The ascension has been crazy for her, and I'm like, they're going to literally hit the brakes, not Jacob Fatu, all gas, no brakes with it. Ain't no brakes in this one, right? Like they're going to stop her momentum if they decide to turn her face. So, I'm very concerned about that. But I feel like the match overall, besides Charlotte taking naps everywhere like she Snorlax all Pokemon, when you think about when you think about like even Alexa Bliss, I feel like what are they doing with her? Ever since the unfortunate passing of Bray, she had her daughter, stuff like that. She's come back. What are they doing with her? She can be an opponent in the world title scene. We got 2 world titles, and this is something that you guys were talking about earlier that we got into a conversation about. Was the actual prestige of the titles? Which one is really worth going after, or what you really want to turn into? You want to tune in to watch. And I think that's a huge problem to go along with what Drew is saying creative wise with WWE right now.
Mm-hmm.
We have no like stories. A person we're going to talk about in a minute talked about this on a certain show just 2 days ago. Or 24 hours ago. So I'm concerned. Like for the women, it was cool. I'm glad Liv won. She deserved it, but I'm concerned moving forward.
Isn't
Well, while we got you, Korrey,
Isn't
Go
she
ahead,
the
Drew.
number one contender already for Stephanie Valkyra's title? Or am I misremembering that?
Yeah.
Didn't she
Oh,
win
yeah,
some
she
type
is.
of number one? So isn't there a chance that she beats, even though I don't think so because of how hot Stephanie Valkyra is, she beats, and then we have Liv decide to face Raquel at WrestleMania?
Yeah, I think that's
Could
I think something's gonna happen between them.
Yeah.
I think that's the vibe that it starts to feel. And there's nothing against Stephanie. I think Stephanie has had run. I feel like that's another problem with WWE. We talked about this a couple months ago on the show, about a month or so ago. They don't know how to build title runs, and it's a problem. It's a huge problem that they don't know how to make title runs anymore. Like they just don't have any legit title runs. Roman was probably the last real legit title run. They've had a couple of sneak ones in there, Gunther with his Intercontinental. They had a couple, but especially in this last year and a half, it has been really rough. Ever since Roman lost, on the main roster, like ever since Roman lost the title, it just hasn't been the same. But Korrey, you made a good point. Like, how did they go with this, and who's going to be face, who's going to be heel? Because that's kind of like that WWE's thing. If it's me, you got to make Raquel the heel, because she's done such good heel work the last couple of weeks. And I think Liv would probably benefit more from being the face in this situation. But I mean, I think if anything, it's just got to lead to the imploding of the Judgment Day. That at this point, I feel like needs to happen. 2 of the guys are hurt. You know what I'm saying? That's technically, in my opinion, holding Finn Balor back, because he's just, he's the only guy there now. And then it's the girls just like, I'm going to say bossing him around. But Liv came up to him the other day like, hey, man, you going to just listen to him? I'm like, bro, you being emasculated here. I need you to go figure this thing out. Right? So I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see how they kind of all play it out.
And while we got both of y'all here, Korrey and Drew, because I know you asked a question earlier about like the title reigns or which title is prestigious. Like, I want to see y'all opinions. Like, what title do you think is prestigious, or WWE is doing well, and you feel they're making it prestigious? Korrey and Drew.
Korrey, you can take that one first.
Okay. When I think about it, the first person that comes to my mind is Becky Lynch.
Mhm.
She has been doing
The man.
phenomenal
The man.
with that
Becky
Intercontinental Championship, like Daman, big time Bex, like the way she's carried it and the way she has like longed for it makes it important.
Yes.
A woman, like a superstar, not even just a woman, a superstar of her stature can make that title elevate, right? Then you got a bunch of young people that are hungry and they're chasing after it. And she's just like, the whole thing with Maxine. Maybe they should have carried Maxine a little longer, but we ended up getting Natty out of this. And now let's see what version of this Natty person is going to be on WWE. I thought they presented her pretty well tonight. When you think about it, though, like, they need something like that. There is no like personal jabs and all this stuff going on, and you took my man and all this other crap. No, it's about the freaking title. And you can build a steaming rivalry over the title, right? Things can become personal because of the title.
Yeah.
But not before then. And then we got to go into the title because it just holds the story up.
That's 100%.
And that's the only one, to be honest with you, even with the women's tag team championships being more prominent on TV now, I still think they still got the residue of the old regime on it, and they need to scrap those titles and get some new ones and start fresh with that division. But That is the only title, the only one throughout WWE right now that I'm like, I want to see this as main event of WrestleMania right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. And I had a feeling that you were going to go that route and bring that type of, bring that type of backing to it. And if I were to say anything were to get close to it, it's not even a title that's on the main roster. It's the NXT championship.
Yep.
And because look at the stars that Sean's building over there on that brand, that over the course of the next 5 years, we could see over 50% of the roster in even higher percentage, like 75% of the roster actually have been developed in NXT. And the type of matches and the type of storytelling that's coming over there with that championship and even the women's division as well. You look at what JC Jane's done, like, and then being a part of the Royal Rumble tonight, there's a lot of discussions about about everything culminating around NXT and how people are more in tune with that than what's going on the current roster of Raw and SmackDown today. And outside of any other title that's on the main roster, I would have to say that would be my focus if I were going to say anything different than what Korrey did, because outside of that, the Intercontinental Championship, the Women's Intercontinental Championship, is mainly the hottest thing to watch on the main roster right now, because every single other championship's being passed off too much. CM Punk has been very underwhelming as the World Heavyweight Champion.
Thank you.
For
Thank
Raw,
you, Drew.
even though I'm a fan of even though I'm a fan of what he did before, he left the first time. But ever since AEW and in this, it has been a complete downfall there. Drew, I think in time over this year, if we get that year run, like you all were talking about earlier, we could see a big upswing with that and can be talking how that's as big as when Roman had it. And Cody's first run, the run up into got to finish the story, get the title. That was great. Right. The first year into it, once you lose it to John Cena last year, it's been downward spiral since then, in my opinion. So just like the comment that was earlier, since WrestleMania 41 has been mid, yes, I agree with that 100%. What Korrey said was 100% as far as the Women's Intercontinental Championship and Becky Lynch being the hottest thing on the main card. But if I were to go a close second, it'd be not even the main roster, it'd be NXT Championship.
That's a really good assessment, Drew. That's a really good assessment. The only thing I would throw in is, and I said it earlier in our earlier show, if they wouldn't have took the belt off Chelsea Green, I feel like she would have been good to still be U.S. champion, but they took it too quick. They took it way too quick. They messed that up, but that's besides the point. And I am disappointed about the way they did her in this Rumble.
Me too. Oh, me too. I was hoping for Chelsea the whole time. At least they let her stay in the ring longer than 5 seconds.
Yeah, I know, man. I sat there and I said, look at this.
Alba Fire having her on her back. I said,
yeah.
She
like, got eliminated twice.
Yeah, she's like,
It's crazy, man.
It's crazy.
They should have let her lay there with Charlotte, and then after everybody's eliminated, stand up like, oh, we forgot she was in here.
And, like, and your winner, and your winner,
and your winner is
Chelsea Green. What?
How?
That'd have been great. Oh man, well, let's talk about this last match, the men's Royal Rumble match, and I ain't even gonna lie, man.
Woo!
I mean, just because we didn't get to see Finn, Florida.
Damn!
Get it, Flo.
We didn't get Finn.
I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this.
You know what? Cuba.
Just 1 minute. Oh,
you gotta be kidding me.
I never thought.
No, but that's for real. That's legit how this men's Rumble.
I gotta say this real quick. If y'all want to you ever get a chance, when you check out Drew's show, you check out the NNL Sports Debate. Drew got some classic clips on that bad boy, but I be up in that bad boy.
Y'all reminded me a lot of me. Like it's like watching myself in the mirror.
It is so funny, man. Like he does a couple of them on there. If you want to tear up, You're gonna tear up on the NL Sports Debate, man. Because I'm like, okay, I see you.
Hey, we might have to do an all wrestling edition, do something like this on their first ever Quince edition.
Quince edition. Ooh,
I'll be with it.
Quince.
Let's get it.
And all wrestling one too. No other sports, just talking wrestling.
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that.
I like that.
Yeah. I gotta bring it back.
Lie, man. I ain't gonna lie. I thought so far when they started it, starting off the ruler. I said, all right, we starting off hot, boy. Braun Breaker though, number 2, immediately got eliminated. I said, oh man, this ain't a joke. Then of course we seen the Masked Man. Didn't know who the Masked Man was no reveal. Anyway, look, I ain't gonna lie. I thought the Masked Man was at least gonna be Finn to take the spot. I mean, I don't know, bro. I mean,
Or Seth.
Seth is still. I think he's still. In recovery, or he might be. I think he's still doing rehab now. So I understand that. No Finn. Okay, I said fine, whatever. Of course we got Trick. I ain't gonna lie. I would have been okay if Trick came in at number 2. I feel like Trick's entrance was one of those. Again, I've said it all the way. You got to let it go start to finish. Start to finish. I feel like that was one of those entrances you should have just let him be number 2, and he could have been in there for like at least solid 30, 40 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not the man with the pen. I will say, what I will say is this. Drew McIntyre, man. You did your damn job, because we all came on this podcast yesterday and said, anybody but Cody. Thank you. You answered my prayers. My prayers was answered. Man, look, I prayed and you answered them very well. I said, thank you, Drew. Get Cody the hell out of here. Jacob did your thing. The man with the magic. Look, I ain't gonna lie, man. I was okay with what you did up in there. I was all right with it. I was solid. Now, pause. That sounded crazy. Now, I will say is this, okay? Roman being the one to win the Rumble. I'm not gonna lie. I felt like this was low-key the safest option that they went with. I think they didn't want to go with Finn. Fine, even though you dangled that damn carrot for a couple of weeks. So I was like, we named episodes after Finn. I said, nah, I think this is for Finn. I sat there and picked Finn. Finn wasn't even in the damn Rumble. I felt like R-Truth at this point. I just said something. It wasn't even what it was. Whatever. I will say, though, I think the Rumble was a good one. I was glad that it wasn't Gunther. Thank God. But, Roman winning the Rumble, I think, again, safest option. And we talked about this earlier today. Roman winning the Rumble, you can have a possibility with him and Drew. We know how that goes. And then you can still do the whole situation with him and CM Punk. Or even if Seth comes back. Let's say if Seth comes back. Now you can do this. You can do this because now if Seth comes back, has his whole thing with CM Punk, now we can have that part 2 of the main event like we did last year. And instead of seeing Seth with the chair, we might see Seth with the title. We'll see what happens with that. Heartbreak Prince, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
Let me just say that they started off the Rumble in the best fashion that you possibly could start it off with. My man, Oba and me. Oh, Oba, hear me.
Fear me.
Just standing there, stanced up. I was so hyped. I loved it. And then my man even got the pyro around the top of the stadium. I said, that's when you know they're saying this is a big star. They put pyro around it, and it was green, just like his whole intro, his whole theme, and the way he dominated. And it was crazy because the fans, they were going back and forth of like, Oba, and then he started eliminating people. They were like, boo. And then at one point, he kept eliminating people. They just started saying, Oba's gonna kill you. Oba's gonna kill. I was like,
fickle ass fans.
So over that dude. I absolutely love what they did there. But guys, the men's Royal Rumble, there's a lot of things I can say about it. Like people that were missing, like Finn, Jericho, Chad Gable, Montez Ford.
Never mind.
Technically.
Where was
I
Chad
stopped
Gable?
myself. My bad. I was sorry.
Sorry about that.
Where was Chad Gable? But Montez Ford, Dawkins,
Ludwig Kaiser. I mean, the list goes on.
Chad Gable.
Chad Gable.
It was where was the New Day? Where was Kofi? Where was it was so many I know it's 30 people, but when I saw like Mr. Iguana and La Parka, don't get me wrong. No disrespect to my triple R guys, but the problem is WWE has taken all of y'all titles off of your show. So I don't even know why they've already told you what they think about you guys. But to take two spots that could have been Finn, that could have been Chad Gable, highly disappointed, disrespectful. But the thing I want to say, guys, just real quick, because I really want to know y'all thoughts on this, because it could just be me, but we talking about connection earlier. We talked about connection. Trick Williams, to me, star moment, star of the night, as far as coming out with the white mink on and getting in the ring and doing dirty work while still wearing the mink.
That's
everything about it
That
screams
Trick,
champion. It screams like this is the dude right here. Like, I don't know if it's just me because I'm such a Trick fan. I'm an Oba fan. Love Javon Evans as well. So like anything they do, it's like, oh man, this is so dope. But to me, like him coming out, the pop that he got when he came out, everybody whooped that Trick. He gets in the ring, he starts eliminating people. He's still wearing the mink, and as he's doing it, I'm like, this is the star. This is the dude right here that you should start being like, hey, we've got to find a way to get him. You want to talk about selling merchandise? I believe he can sell merchandise. You want to talk about, just having that connection and relation with the fans. I believe he can give it to you. And then the way that he can give it to you as far as being a heel, I think it's perfect. It's a perfect opportunity where he's like, what he is now, like just kind of like braggadocious and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I'm a huge fan of what he's doing and his way, the way he's carrying himself as as a wrestler on the main roster right now. And so I don't know. To me, he was the star of the show tonight. Roman Reigns came out. The aura was definitely over 9,000 when I saw my man Roman Reigns come out. But Trick Williams, I thought the pop for him was just insane. As far as the winner, though, it being Roman Reigns, I was a little disappointed. And I was a little disappointed, not because it's the tribal chief. I was just disappointed because I'm like, WWE can't do it. They cannot get out of their own way. They cannot just stake their bets. Like they claim all these guys, they're superstars. Well, if you believe they're superstars, you should be able to put them on at any part of the roster and sell. And the fact that you had to book Roman Reigns as the winner of this Royal Rumble, and it just tells me you don't believe that you have superstars. You have some stars, you have some superstars. Other than that, you just have Jags, just the guys. Because that's how the fact that you have to go with an old, not saying Roman Reigns is old, but like one of the old heads, like, in the game, and you couldn't use this moment at WrestleMania to bring in and just to build for a new star.
Could have did it for LA Knight. Could have did it for LA Knight.
That was the surprise for me because I was like, I think LA Knight should get this. His pop was sick. And they were even doing when he was giving the fist. Yeah. The crowd was into it. And he got tossed over the rope, out of the ring. Just to finish it off, my point is, it's just kind of sad to me because the WWE doesn't believe that they in their superstars. And when you talk about selling tickets for WrestleMania, and the only way that they can do it is to keep bringing back the same names over and over and over. And with Roman, he's got 1 foot in and 1 foot out. So you don't know if is he going to be around? Is he going to make every night at Raw, or is he going to be out filming another movie, or is he going to be here on SmackDown, or is he going to be like he's starting to go the Rock John Cena route? And it's like, here we go again. We got to put the title back on him because we have to sell these $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 tickets at Las Vegas, we had to put, asses in seats. And so we got to go with the status quo. And that's what broke my heart tonight about this Royal Rumble in particular.
Yeah, man. Mr. Xclusive, what's your thoughts, man? What you think about it?
Man, I mean, I'll be honest with you. A lot of what you said, HP Prince, is my sentiment. I think one of the biggest things, and it was LA Knight when he came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
The energy was like, okay, they might do it. They actually might do it. And
Dangle the carrots.
Yes, and he gets in the ring. He does a great job in the ring. The energy was there. I was like, I think they might, see what they do. And then he gets eliminated. And all I can say, it was a couple people that when they got eliminated, all I did was just took a really big deep breath, like, they're doing it again. He was one of them. He was one of them. I would throw, obviously Chelsea Green, because of how I feel about her. When Trick got thrown out, I felt the same way because I felt like it happened too quick. I was like, I feel like he could have lasted a little bit longer there. And I'm like, this is happening faster than what I thought. Shout out to Jerron Evans. He was out there longer than I thought he was going to be in there. Yeah. I thought that, guys like Brunson Reed, I thought Brunson Reed had a really good opportunity to make some leeway. HP Prince, you always talk about how like the vision, you're looking for that guy to take that next step. Well, there was no Braun Breaker in this one. Austin Theory was in there. Austin Theory just be looking lost. He out there, but he just be looking lost. But I thought this was a good opportunity for Bronson Reed, and I didn't think they were going to give it to him, but a chance for him to be a monster, a chance for him to really go out there and do some things, and then they give up spots. We talk about La Parka, the Mr. Iguanas. I don't hate Dragon Lee, but why is he in there?
Come on, bro.
Ray Phoenix has been back or been in WWE for months, and I feel like he's not really done anything since he's been there. Every time I feel like he's losing, and it's just like, but he gets to go in the Rumble. Your hottest commodity coming into this, with everything that was going on, was Finn Balor. Yeah. It's like, he's coming off the hot crowd, in his hometown. He's coming back. He's had a couple great moments with CM Punk. And you're thinking, okay, well, he's got to be in the mix, right? Because if he's in the mix, it makes sense. Then they was like, oh, he doesn't have a spot.
Told him there was no spot. Yeah.
Right. They said he didn't have no spot. And you're like, oh, I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't even make sense. He's like, Finn Balor, right? Yeah. He's got to have a spot. And the answer is no, he doesn't have a spot. But you know who gets a Final Four spot? You know who gets a
Logan
Final Four?
Freaking Paul.
Oh, yeah. Logan Paul amongst 3 big-time world champions. So we talking about, the Randy Ortons, the 14, 15-time world champion Randy Orton. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Then, you got Roman Reigns in there, multiple-time world champion. You got Gunther, who's a 2-time world champion. That's another story. I don't even know why they let him in the Rumble. He didn't even need to be in the Rumble. He already fought. That's a Finn spot. You know what I'm saying? That's a Jericho spot.
I feel that's when Finn should have came and beat the hell out of Gunther.
I was calling for it. I kept saying, come out here, Finn. Take his knees out.
He was walking to the ring like he was hurting. Yeah. But this is just, and I get it. This is a Triple H power move. You put him in at 30. He just come off a grueling match. It gives you the indication, oh my God, they're about to give him this title. If they give him the win, if we already, disliking, Gunther for whatever reason, this takes him to this level. Like he's up there with it. So it was a lot that went with it. I could deal with Roman winning it. Roman was my pick for those reasons. I felt like he can go with any match. He can drag it as long as he needs to. So I think we got out of it the best case scenario. But I'd rather take him over Gunther. I hate to say it. I mean, I think Gunther's a great wrestler. We'll never take that away from him. I still think he's still trying to find his way to be the heel that they all want him to be. It's getting there. It's just not there yet. And so Roman instantly gives you everything that you need for this WrestleMania. It's unfortunate. We would like to see new stars. I think we all agree here. We would like to see new people take the echelon. That's what wrestling is built on. Since we were kids, who's the next person that's going to take that next step? That new person that comes in, he'd be like, all the way back to the 1, 2, 3 kid. People like that. You're like, oh man, this young guy's doing all this good stuff. We see it all the time. And it's like, will they ever give him the chance to make that leap? So, I mean, I can deal with it overall. I think the 2 winners are the winners. I think they still can have a great road to WrestleMania, but we shall see.
And just real quick, how many WrestleManias in a row is this for Roman Reigns that he's going to be main eventing a WrestleMania?
This is like,
is this like
maybe
10?
like
30, 31, 32,
32,
33,
33.
34,
34.
30. Oh, wait, no, he didn't main event 35. It was a
36 was the
Well,
Was
no,
that
technically,
Brock?
well, 36. The 36 was the COVID era, so he wasn't there for that one. 37, 38, 39, 40,
41.
41. This man has main evented WrestleMania 11 freaking times, and it's about to be 12.
bro.
Dang.
I think he hit a record. I mean, speaking of
That
records, I
has
meant
to be
to
a
talk
record.
about this too. Just to kind of go back to the whole like Drew and Sammy thing. You know, this is another thing I meant to say. When they talked about Sammy and Drew's record, how like Sammy has
12
never
and oh.
beaten Drew McIntyre, I said, bro, I swear to God, if y'all are throwing this statistic out just to say that Sammy's gonna do it, that was another thing that pissed me off. But anyway,
Yeah,
I just,
and he was 4-0 in Saudi Arabia, and I said, I said, what they about to do here? I was like, wait a minute, Sammy's 4-0 in Saudi, man. Oh,
I
whoa.
hate when you try throwing those little statistics, bro. Don't even try to even phase me with this BS. They killed me with that.
And
But yeah, I
Drew
agree.
said, he saw Charlotte on the ground. He saw 41 to 48 minutes. He was like, all right, now y'all start giving these statistics, trying to put stuff in my head. All right, no.
I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's crazy. Drew, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
Roman Reigns has become the New England Patriots of the WWE.
Ooh, good one, Drew. Good one. Yeah.
Where like, for the past decade or two, we've seen nothing but this one product at the top of the charts. We saw the current, Grande Americano, and then the original, the OG, which what we might as well just say Chad Gable versus Ludwig Kaiser, okay? Because that's exactly who it is. And Chad Gable coming out there looking like mini Lex Luger, okay, with a beard. He's jacked as he is, and too much baby oil out there. Looking like he could have slip and slide all the way down the ring coming in there. I'm telling you, man, he didn't need to glisten that much. And comes in there, and that was just a joke of the two being in there in the ring. But, many different, hiccups throughout multiple matches here, throughout the Royal Rumble. But this one in particular, it's like you said, we've got 11 out of the last 12 WrestleManias. Roman Reigns has been at the top of the card. And now that we've got two nights, you got two opportunities where you can make two new stars each night, for these events. You're not taking advantage of it. So it just goes to show that you can't build the current upcoming roster to take the reins for the future, because you got to go back to the past to make it right for now. That's what we're doing with Roman Reigns. We have to rely on the past in order to get there. And ironically, now the Patriots are about to take over again. So we're about to have NFL and WWE merged together within the script. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway,
we're in the script. We're in the
script. But great point earlier about, they teased with us, both of you together, talking about dangling carrots with the LA Knight coming out there,
crazy,
getting us hype, where we thought finally, after waiting for so long, where they're backtracking again, but then they caught us off guard with our heartstrings, thinking they were going to do that for them. When it got down to number 30 and Gunther coming in, I almost, in my mind, very similar to when Tiffany Stratton came out at 30, but it wasn't for Gunther who was coming out. When Tiffany Stratton came out, I meant to say this earlier, at 30, and they put that stat that no female has ever won from the 30th position.
I thought that was.
You was like, you're telling us what's going to happen now, okay? You're already telling us. You already know. And when you got Gunther coming out, it's like, well, we already know he's not going to win. He already won earlier. So who's it going to be? And you get to the final four and you start, thinking about it as they're dancing around there for a second. You already know that Logan Paul is not going to win this thing. Yeah. You already know that Randy Orton, at this current point storyline, he doesn't need it. He's not going to win it. So it's down to the other two. And Gunther just retired AJ Styles. He doesn't even really need the win tonight. So I already mathematically knew at that point, Roman's winning. And it's been, you talk about 11 of the last 12 WrestleManias, he's been at the top of the card. It's been 11 years since the man last won Royal Rumble. So we're now saying that the grandfathers of the roster can basically win the Royal Rumble. So I don't know, man. And you got to go back to the past to go to the future. And that's basically what they're doing here. We get another situation of backtracking, except where you're not trying to backtrack to make it up to the fans. You're backtracking to try to hold on to some success that you had, because when Roman had the championship, it was the longest that we had seen in the modern era of somebody with that type of hold at the top of the card that could have that kind of great of a story, and we really not get pissed about the fact that somebody has the title for that long. Once it got towards the end, it's got to be written the right way to send it off to and pass the torch to the next one. And the story of Cody getting, finishing the story and winning the championship was perfect for him. And it was great for how Roman lost the title at the same time. It didn't hurt him, which is why he's been as big over the last, couple of years since he lost that title. What are you going to do with him as now the Royal Rumble winner? And how are you going to, keep that momentum strong? I got a feeling they could potentially bury everything that they had previously done with how they're about to book him in this upcoming WrestleMania based on this Royal Rumble win.
It could be anything. And I mean, it could be anything. You're 100%, Drew. It really could be anything. We don't know. We don't know.
Korrey, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
It's been good to sit back and listen to y'all, because I'll be getting some thoughts like as y'all are talking, and I'm over here writing it down so I make sure I don't forget anything.
Let me go ahead and make sure.
The main thing is we're looking at what's the reason why Roman Reigns won, right? We want to know, like, what's the situation? I have the answer. Oracle.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
What is your answer? Put it in simple terms. Front row tickets for the show of shows that was absolutely, positively this last year.
Super trash.
You're going to charge people $70,000. $70,000 for this show. That is the reason why Roman Reigns won. You think of it as like kind of like, major professional teams, like they're strong arming them. And if you think about it, WWE's owned by TKO. TKO is probably strong arming them. Like, yeah, you better figure this out. So they're only going to do what they feel like they must do to make the revenue. So like this is the reason why Roman is being put in this position. His interview on Pat McAfee said a lot, and I swear it was nothing but facts. When he came out and said, I gave y'all 2 years. I took a step back for 2 years, and he wasn't even showing up when he had the title like that. Once a month, he'll come in and do his thing for the PLE and go on about his business. I'm going back to the Island of Relevancy, whatever. And when you think about that, what he said on the Pat McAfee show, it's absolutely true, but it's not the superstar's fault. I've seen Nicole say in her chats many times, like, exactly 70K this economy. Creative is a problem. It is an overall problem, man. So I'm not even going. I just wanted to make sure I made that clear, because I got a few points I want to hit, and I don't want to keep y'all long. Bronson Reed. They screwed up with Bronson Reed because they didn't capitalize on him pinning Roman Reigns last year. They didn't capitalize on that whole tribal thief thing, and I think they probably could have took it a little further. To better establish him, at least make him feel like he's mid-card champion feel to him. They missed that. So when you think about Roman, I think the ultimate thing with him winning is number one, that $70K for WrestleMania, and then to make amends for the first time he won. Y'all know how bad it was when he won the first time, when he was proverbially being shoved down everybody's throats. Pause, no Diddy, whatever you want to say.
All of it.
And then gonna have the nerve. Then gonna have the nerve to have The Rock come in and raise his hand like that was gonna make anything better. And that just let the roof come off with boos even more. Look at how he was received now. Naturally.
Yeah.
El Grande Americano. We said this last year, Drew, on our WrestleMania episode. If I see a Grande Americano versus a Grande Americano, like we saw Doink versus Doink, and what was it, Undertaker versus Undertaker, stuff like that back in the day. I am going to turn into a YN on the like right there in the
Crash
moment.
out.
Crash out.
Crash out.
Do
I
not.
ain't doing no interviews.
Undercover, baby.
Do not put this on this WrestleMania card. Send it to
It's coming.
AAA. Send it to AAA. Y'all handle that there. We don't you break. Oh yeah, excuse me. Hey, like leave it there. Don't bring this to the main card of WrestleMania. It does not deserve to be there. Drew, you really just drove something into me. When you said Charlotte Flair was just laying there, you know who irritated me? You know who irritated me just as much in the men's Royal Rumble? Who?
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
yes.
Thank you.
Wow.
Man, I
Yes.
was so happy when Roman hit that chop on his ass.
Yep.
I said,
And then he still went and helped him out. I'm like, bro, he just chopped you in your neck muscle. Like, what are you doing?
I mean, I
Smack some
was
sense into
so
him.
irritated with this. I'm like, okay, this is dead now. This is done. We can stop doing this now. You know, we get it. We get it. Every time we see this man, come on. And that's literally, he's just a puppet at this point. You know, with a World Tag Team Championship, it's just kind of sad, you know, what WWE looks like. All right, two more things, and I'm going to move. Gunther, to bring my point up earlier, Gunther is the career killer. And you know who I think is next on this list? 45-year-old Randy Orton. Somebody jot this down. Somebody book this 8:44 p.m. on January the 31st. I'm telling you.
Hey, YN insurance is crazy work. Sick Diggy, YN insurance is crazy.
Hey, Diggy, that's hilarious,
bro.
I really do feel as if Randy Orton is next. 45, he's had back issues, etc. The writing's on the wall for Randy. I love Randy and what he has done over the years. He can forget that 15th world title. It's up from here. Them young stars came in and showed out tonight. And it's going to make it hard for anybody to put the title back on him. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. And the last thing I want to bring up, and I want to kind of throw it out here to the panel too, for everybody to talk. Why in wrestling is there such a focus on face and heel versus organic storylines? I don't understand it. Why does there have to be a power dynamic of I'm the good guy, you're the bad guy, and we're going to have this big old fight where the good guy is going to look great in the end, right? When you think about that, I think about to Finn and Edge at WrestleMania, 2-3 years ago, and it pissed me off to no end that Finn lost that match. Why can't a heel go up on a storyline? I don't understand that, right? And speaking of Finn, it's no secret that I'm a huge Finn Balor fan. What they did with him is absolutely positively egregious, and they better make up for it. They better make up for it. If they're going to put the title on somebody, you have to think about the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble is to establish stars or reignite stars.
Yeah,
that is the purpose of it.
Yes, preach, Korrey. Preach.
I don't understand what they're doing right now, but if they don't get it together by Mania, they need to wipe that whole creative team clean.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell y'all this, and we talked about it recently. When I saw Unreal and I saw the lostness, like I don't even understand why you have this show. I get it that every fan gets to see it, but if anything, it made them look worse. And then we see what happens at this Rumble, and you're like, man, this is what they have behind the scenes in control of this. What? Why would you even put this on tape? It looks 300 times worse when we're seeing it on tape. It's like, guys, like, we know you're bad. We seen you in the media just looking lost. They were just like, well, what do you want to do? Like I said, I said it before. I love Road Dogg, but when they asked Road Dogg, well, you will put Chelsea Green on the title on her, what are you going to do after the fact? Well, I don't even know. I just think she has to have the belt. What? All right, look, you know what?
Why are you in the room? Why do you have this job? Why are you getting a paycheck?
I don't want to call nobody slow because that's mean, but it's not good. And it's not good. They've got
it's crazy.
Get rid of them all. You know,
really makes you question why they're still in that position, bro. And then somebody was saying this. Somebody had said this a while ago. It was like, you think about it. Triple H got all of his damn friends up in that meeting board, like, and then it was like that's probably the problem. You got too many yes men. Like everybody want to be buddy. No, this is a business. Let's make this business what it should be. Y'all playing games, man. I've been saying this before. I'm sick of this, man. You know, and to answer Korrey's question, the problem is because you asked, you know, why is it
Healing.
always heel and face? It's because of the creative team. They're too old fashioned. They are too. It's so stuck in their old Vince ways, man. And I say this because when we look at AEW, okay, me and Heartbreak Prince talk about this all the time. You look at AEW, sometimes it could be two heels going up against each other, but the story has got you intrigued. Okay, we could talk about a match with John Moxley and Kyle Fletcher, how now that has transcended, you know, what the Death Riders going up against the Don Callis fan, which I love that, by the way. But you see how those are two heel factions, and it's working. You know what? I got to do it. Shout out to my man Don Callis. Come on, boy.
Coming up.
Just got very rich from taking out Jet Speed, and it's Jake Doyle. This guy is an animal, and this guy is an animal, and we're gonna kill some people. That's what we're gonna do. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? This is gonna be great. Give me ready. Ow. Let's go out.
Don Callis deserve all those slaps of, you know, just the slaps of greatness, man. Look, I'm just saying, bro, and I agree. I'm kind of sick of the whole babyface heel. Like, it does not have to be that. It legitimately does. As long as the story is there, it's there. You don't need to have the good guy versus bad guy. This is not the 70s, 80s, and 90s and the mid 2000s no more, bro. This is the 2020s. Update yourself. Get you. I mean, I'm sick of this, and I feel you, man. This is ridiculous. I think that is probably one of the biggest things that holds them back from even having new Royal Rumble winners. Because even with Roman, it's like, oh, super babyface. All right, cool, whatever. But yeah, you guys are doing this because you're like, I think what Drew was saying before, I feel like they're backtracking, going back to Roman winning the Rumble and him now going for the title. But this is the same thing. Like, you could have had an LA Knight. LA Knight was a brand new, you had him already doing stuff with the Vision. You already had him with a storyline with CM Punk before. Why the hell wasn't he the one to win the Rumble? That's somebody that's a rising star, not even a rising star. That's somebody that's a newer on the roster. That's somebody you could have had literally elevate that. And again, I've said this before. If you let the man come back and bring back the damn dummy button, you wouldn't have this problem. The merch would go up. Dummy, yeah. Dummy, yeah.
Well,
that's
look,
my answer.
Maybe, hopefully that's the move.
With their partnership with TNA, there should be no problem with him using that gimmick either, you would think. Because that's what made it big was, around there in NWA, and that's where he was running it at. So,
yep.
But another thing, too.
He was a champion.
When we're talking about the Men's Royal Rumble match, would you say that there was multiple individuals that got buried throughout the match tonight, including, look at Brock Lesnar coming in there, with Heyman and the way that he was dumped on his head. I feel like with all the hype that he had from coming back and squashing John Cena, and then you have him at Survivor Series, and then tonight, I feel like that he should have been in the Final Four. And if you really wanted to hype up Roman winning the Royal Rumble, you should have had him toss out somebody like him instead of Gunther, who'd been in there and already wrestled earlier and already ended AJ Styles' career.
Yeah, I mean, I could have seen that. I think I don't have no problem with the only thing is Logan Paul, to me, being in that Final Four made no sense because there was a lot of people that got thrown out just a little bit before, and I'm just like, LA Knight would have made way more sense to be in that,
even Braun being one of the Final Four.
Braun being one of the Final Four. Even a Brunson Reed. I think you have to have a young gun that you feel like that can really go and be your next person. I mean, Oba, as long as Oba was in there, it probably should have been Oba. I mean, at least you eliminate Oba at that point, or Trick, or, there's just multiple people that you could have put in that position that would have kept the energy going. Jacob Fatu could have been in that mix. Penta, heck, you could have threw Penta in there, and I would have felt more happy for Penta being in that mix to give me some glimpse of, wait a minute, can Penta pull this off? So I don't know, man. This creative team, boy.
My quick take on it, Korrey, because I think the question is great. It's a great question. I think it's low hanging fruit personally. Like, it's easier just to serve it up to people in a simple dish of, this is the good guy, where you have to cheer for him. This is the bad guy. You need to boo them. And I just think that that's just the easiest way for the casuals to fans of wrestling to kind of take it in, especially when they're paying the ticket prices that they're paying, these days for WWE. Which goes back to my thing that I've been saying, is that I just feel like, good or bad, Vince was not the greatest person. So when he had to step away from WWE, you kind of wish that somebody, maybe like his daughter, would take it over or whatever, where they could continue to make decisions for the company and create new stars, their way, versus now that it is owned by a company like TKO. They have kind of lost the ability to take these leaps of faith on people, because everything is about the bottom dollar. And now the fans of, like the hardcore fans, or the fans of the product, that, your typical people that would spend, the $50 to buy a seat, the $100 to buy a seat, whatever. I say we, but they've been kind of squeezed out to those and it's more, like I said, of a gentleman's club now, where you got to be somebody to be there, to be able to be in those seats. When you hold up that paper and you say you want $70,000 for WrestleMania, when I know that Mr. Exclusive, and I believe, Drew, correct me if I'm wrong, you and Eric, y'all went to a WrestleMania for like $1,500 and had full access. That included flight, hotel, access, NXT, WrestleMania, like all of that. And, and over a period of like 5 years, you will never be able to accomplish that again. $1,500, you'd probably be lucky if you get a seat in the nosebleed.
Yeah, I mean,
let alone be able to take a flight or stay in a hotel.
Yeah.
And so at this point in time, they have no choice. Like they cannot take a risk and say, hey, we're gonna put an LA Knight at WrestleMania, and then say, hey, this seat is $70,000. Because people are going to be like, well, I want to see Roman Reigns. That's why I'm paying to see.
Yeah.
And so it just becomes hard. And I don't know really how to get out of that. I can't, like I said, I know Vince was not perfect, but when it was owned by him, he could take those risks. He could do those things because it was all owned by him. It was whatever he wanted in his creative mind. And so it just, it hits different now. And I just think that's the problem right now, and that's why we have Roman Reigns again. And like I said, I love Roman Reigns. It's just we talk all the time about them pushing new talent.
I feel like
we've seen it. Like you said, when you said since WrestleMania 31, we are about to enter WrestleMania 43 and
42.
40, 41. This is 42. Sorry, 42. And Roman Reigns is going to be the headliner again, which is insane. But I that's my thing. Yeah, I just think I think that's the problem. Like I said, you got to keep it simple, and you gotta put your money makers there, and people that people won't think twice about saying, "Hey, I paid $70,000 to see Roman Reigns."
Prince, you bring up a great point with the Gentlemen's Club, because 2002, when I went to my first shows at the Richmond Coliseum, okay, front row, okay, I wanted to as the first show. $58. $58 to sit front row at the Richmond Coliseum in 2002. 24 years ago this August is what, a lot of time flies. But I just think about that, and then you bring up the Gentlemen's Club, and you think about $70,000, like Korrey said, for a front row. It is insane to have to spend that much money. I'm happy to say that I got to be around during the Attitude Era, and for the upcoming next 10 to 15 years, check out some live events. We got the Darrell, I'm talking about at VSU, where they did the live events before. It's been a while since we've had one there, but that's like the last time type of last experience I may even get, because I'm not paying that much money
it's
to go sit in a seat. Like we all did the AEW thing when the first Dynamite show came out, and it's like, think about how much it was then in comparison to now. A lot has changed in 6 years, man.
It's insane. 7
years. It is crazy, and you will not find me spending that close to what I'm making for an entire year. You know,
Yeah.
there's still a little bit more up in there for the entire
Yeah.
year, but that's the close for the entire year
Yeah.
to go to one show.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, we
I
are.
think too, though, like,
Go ahead,
I
Corey.
think, I'm sorry. I
No,
think
you
too,
go. You
like,
go ahead, brother.
You good?
I think it's just like when you think about your international stars, because a lot of WWE is made of those stars from the independent scene now, who has made their name on the independent scene. You know, the Julias, Oscars, you know, Finn.
Miro.
Like, you know, it's like y'all don't trust the fact that they can actually sell tickets. You know, the prime example is Finn in Ireland. You know, and
Come on,
then
bro.
like, I mean, that's all you needed to see. He went back to the old Finn. Like, you don't even have to go back to like that first version, right? Just do the Prince gimmick when he went back to NXT.
Come on, man.
I'm fine with that. That was beautiful. That was perfect. He's still doing the same thing. The crowd was still involved, but he's more of who he is, right? He had this whole conversation with Cody Rhodes on the podcast. And the reason why he don't want to bring the demon back is because of how it was handled before. He doesn't want to do it. And he said, hey, if I do bring it back, I want creative control, which absolutely he's 1000% correct on that. People look down on Finn versus the man versus, you know, that demon part when it's the same person. And I think those people who have worked their ass off for years, LA Knight of the world, you know, stuff like that, who are actually over with fans. And even if you don't put per se the most prestigious title, which is the one hanging up behind me, right? That WWE championship. If you don't put that on them, what is the point of the World Heavyweight Championship?
Yep.
LA Knight could have beat Seth and won that title at WrestleMania. You didn't have to have the Drew aspect of that with CM Punk. They could have had their own blood feud off to the side. Damian Priest could have won, you know, cashing his money in the bank a month or two later. Like, it's just none of it is really making sense to me. And I really wanted to just put that out there to you guys because I feel, for me, it feels simple. Stop looking at it from this is the template, and I'm gonna follow this template. Let's do what makes sense, what feels right, you know. And I think that'll take WWE to the next level. But they're going to continue to stay this way, and the only way they're going to change is TKO start losing money.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll finish
Go
go ahead, HP Prince. You want to go?
No, I was going to say one last thing too, because maybe y'all can help me with this. Because Mr. Xclusive, you bring it up all the time. You know, when you talk about Unreal and something that Korrey just talked about, and so is Drew and Eric. I have lost the ability, apparently, to understand what it means to be over. Okay. Because when I listen to Triple H talk about people needing to get over, and I think about LA Knight, I'm like, the crowd is going crazy for him. Is that not over?
Is it?
You
Is that
think
not
about
over?
Finn Balor, and he's in, the crowd reaction. That's over. But he kept saying throughout it, we listen to the fans. The fans are the ones that drive the show. The fans are, and so
give me some Tylenol.
Like I'm like, all right. So what do they look at? Like, what part of over? Like when they say over, what is the definition of that to Triple H, who I would think would understand that concept, being that he has been in a ring. He knows what it took for him to go from Hunter Hearst Helmsley to the Game and be over. So, like, when you look at an LA Knight, is he not over? Finn Balor, is he not over? Trick Williams, is he not over? So on and so forth. So that to the point that now that it's time to pay that back and say, you are the next person to go that I'm going to, attach myself to. You say, well, no, let's go with Roman Reigns, versus, like last year, Jey Uso was over. Now, how did you attach yourself to Jey Uso, but you can't see it with LA Knight or Finn? Like, I just don't understand. So I'm tossing it out to y'all.
Yeah, man. I think for me, man, it's a lot. Like this is my thing with it, right? Like, we talk about the business aspect, we talk about the money, right? And my whole thing is, and just like what you were saying before, HP Prince, about the whole gentleman's club thing, right? And it never has to be that, right? So this is what I mean by this. If you took the actual people that were really over, the stars, the LA Knights, the Finn Balors, the Hollywood Trick, Two Brand Trick, First Class Trick, Trick and Nate, Trick Willie, Okay, if you took those kind of people, hell, even a Karrion Kross when he was there at the time.
Karrion Kross.
Even a Karrion Kross, if you had him, if you took those stars and really built them to what they really should be, you wouldn't have to have your tickets at $70K. You could be, you know why? Because your merch would be going up. The amount of money you could be making off of the merch from the actual stars that we want to see could literally double, if not triple, to what you're making off of these BS ticket sales. That, you know, that for me, I think is a big aspect, because if y'all so concerned about the money and all that, we'll put the actual people that we're asking for at the time when we tell you. Stop waiting until the pot is already done got cold. Stop waiting all the time until it's past that point, and then we gotta circle back, just like my man Drew said. If you struck when the iron was hot, I'm telling you, all the stars you could have. Hell, even for the women. Come on. People we've been talking about before. How many people should be having a better Chelsea Green? If you imagine if you let Chelsea Green cook up the way she could have, if she still had that damn title, I bet you them U.S. women's titles would have been flying off the shelves. But no, you all want to sit there and give it to Zelina. Now, I get it. I love Zelina, New Yorker. Of course, I'm always going to
fans hate her.
my
They
New
done
Yorkers.
no pop. When she came out, they was like Zelina
no.
Vega.
Poor girl.
It was like,
Well, I mean, I said that before because of the music. Y'all give her music that sounds just like the SmackDown theme song. So, of course, we were going to pop for it because we were just thinking something that's about to be on the damn screen.
did they just give her generic music? Look like
Like, come on, bro.
I
I'm
said, she
telling you,
NXT?
man.
Yeah, look, I'll say this. I think that, and I think Sig Diggy said something when they were talking about the low hanging fruit and, you know, in the insult to the fans' intelligence, right? So that part to me is like, if you sell the storyline the right way, the money will come. Because real wrestling fans,
There it is.
real wrestling fans know what they want to see, right? No matter what the cost is. Like we saw people last year. Remember when they showed Randy Orton and they were telling us, hey, yeah, I paid $30,000 to come to WrestleMania. If the storyline is, if they sell the storylines right, the people are gonna come. I mean, look, people love wrestling, and we all love it. We're on here talking about it here for an hour 40, right? We all love wrestling. If there are people out there that will pay whatever just to have that opportunity to see that great moment live, you know what I'm saying? They don't trust their own storylines, and that's why they have to go back to Roman Reigns. And like I said, I don't hate Roman Reigns, but this is why they go back to him, because they don't trust their own storylines. They don't have enough faith in themselves to build a storyline properly. They don't have faith in themselves to build title reigns properly. That's why the WWE is where they are right now.
And I'll tell you this too. They don't even know how to properly push a new star at all. And then that's a huge problem. Y'all sit there. And it pisses me off, bro. Like, y'all sit here with all these stars that people are like literally clamoring for, going crazy. And you're like, yeah, nah, let's go ahead and put it on. Let's put it on Logan Paul. Yeah, let's put it on Braun Breaker. Yeah, matter of fact, hey, let's put it on corporate man Punk.
I mean, I think,
Y'all go ahead, man. I'm done, bro. I'm done. I ain't gonna lie. Korrey done struck a damn nerve.
I'm sorry, man. You know, but like, I like to have these conversations because, you know, and people with like minds, people who have been with wrestling for a long time and can understand the nuances of it, because it's hard to have it as a casual conversation, you know?
True.
But I think one of the more egregious things about the ticket prices now is that guess what's plastered all over the ring now? Guess what's all around the ring?
Advertisements.
Y'all are getting sponsorship money. Millions of dollars in sponsorship money.
How much debt are y'all really in?
Double dipping.
That's probably
right.
Netflix.
How much debt are y'all really in?
Netflix was what, $1 billion? A couple billion dollars?
Yeah, ESPN was another what, $5 billion or some stupid number like that. Like,
I mean, what's the problem? What is the problem? No, it's not WWE themselves. It's the parent company of TKO, who is in a ton of debt and is trying to make their money back off of the WWE programming.
Sell a company to somebody else, please.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
But I will, you know, if you make a good point on that, and the more and more I see the way this thing is just building, man, it's just so sad. They said a couple months ago about how Vince was, they make fun of Vince. So I guess they was like, oh, Vince wasn't charging enough money because he was trying to be more family oriented. What's wrong with
What's
that?
the problem with that?
What's wrong with
It's
that?
always been a family thing.
Exactly.
Regardless of whether it was the attitude or ruthless aggression, it's always been hell. There's times me and my mom have watched, Mother Night have watched, literally the attitude of it. Like I grew up, me and her grew up watching John Cena, Batista, The Rock, Stone Cold. So it's like, regardless, that's what it's always been. Why are we changing that?
You had a more authentic connection with the crowd to what was going on in the ring when you can have different varieties of individuals in a building meshing together rather than the gentleman's club that Prince brought up earlier, man.
It's insane. I mean, like $70,000 is what?
That's
2
why you only
trucks?
see actors, rappers,
two brand new 25 trucks.
Or actors that we don't know from a new Netflix show.
Those are people that can afford to do that and not blink.
They are.
Yeah,
it's bad.
I do have a question. We brought up. There's one thing we didn't bring up. We're talking about debuts from NXT stars, but we didn't talk about the debut of formerly Powerhouse Hobbs. Now
Royce Keys.
Royce Keys.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I don't like how they did my man.
I like the name though.
I ain't gonna cap. I ain't gonna cap. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I liked him better as Powerhouse Hobbs. I think it was like, oh my God, it's Royce Keys. I was like, you think I'm about to be jumping out my damn seat off of that name off rip? No.
How much money?
Get that out the way.
How much money they had to pay AEW to at least let them even show that on the screen? Because I feel like
then it imploded after it showed up.
Yeah, I'm like they showed it on this. Like somebody was like, give them that Saudi money.
Somebody had to pay.
Like, look, we're just going to use it for one segment. You here's some money for it, and Merry Christmas. But I'm like, to pay all, they had to do something. There's no way they just let that fly. I thought he made a decent impact while he was in there. Unfortunately, it just wasn't too bad.
One workaround for me is if he owned the rights himself to the name.
That's true.
He may have owned the rights, but then TKO was like, all right, we'll use it to introduce you, but then moving forward, you're known as this.
Yeah,
that's because then that way they can get the revenue off of it. With whatever
which is smart.
I will say his theme song sounded like Roseanne was about to come on when it first came on.
Yeah, when it said, I said, is this Diesel? I said, they had a truck in there, and then it just blew open, and I said, all right, they don't know what they got going on here. Come on, fellas. Like, I was like, I'm like, all right, okay.
I think he was the only surprise we really got, though, but we kind of knew he was coming anyway.
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't we get La Parka? I'm sorry. That's disrespectful.
Stop playing. Stop playing.
That's disrespectful.
I will say for the women, I love to see my girl. Come on, the Latina.
I thought it was like
Lonnie. Hey, I was gonna get to her, but I had to talk about the Latinas now. Look, she killed that boy. Man, look. First at one point I said, "Is the suit too tight? She can't get them legs up to kick." But she still did it. I said, you know what, Lola? I loved it. And honestly, I gotta talk about my girl.
Lonnie.
Look, I was happy at the number she came out. I like, it kind of pissed me off because it was like she was getting so hyped and the crowd was just so dead. I said, man, come on, man, y'all can't be doing this to my girl Lonnie like this, man. But that definitely strikes a question. I feel like because now we done seen Lola Vice make that appearance on the Royal Rumble. We've now seen my girl Lonnie. So possibly we could be seeing them going to that main roster. We didn't see Jada at all.
No Jada. I was kind of. She was there last year, and I'm like, why not this year? So I was a little shocked by that.
I think was this Lola's first? Was this her first Rumble?
I think so.
Or was this her second one? So
was she in it last year? I thought she was in it last year too.
She was in it last year.
Yeah. I think so.
I think the funniest thing though, when Lola came out, was Wade Barrett. He was like, she could shake it like a Polaroid picture.
Yeah, like a Polaroid picture. My wife caught that too. I said, I said he went to the old.
I think they had a funny spot in the men's rumble where when Damian Priest chokeslammed Mr. Iguana, he's probably said, "Look, man, you too close to my girl. All right, so I'm gonna chokeslam you. I'm gonna chokeslam your puppet." And I was like, when he looked at him, he just looked at him like this, and I was like, yeah, he about to hurt this man. So a little Latina love. I'm like, bro, you're too close to my baby. You two, matching outfits. We can't be doing that. And that's me and her. All right, can't be doing that.
I
around
will
here.
I will say that there was this one spot Raquel did, and I said, "Hell yeah, this is the nasty stuff we talk." Man, when she hit her finisher and hit Rhea on the corner of on the end of the eighth, I said, "God, I said, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Raquel. Big sexy." Speaking of big sexy, last thing, the face off between Big Sexy and the Big Lash. I said. And I like how Lash still took her down. I said, Lash, that's what I'm
I
talking
said,
about. This
lash
is
up,
why
baby.
we call you the Big Lash, girl. I love the man. I was up in here damn near doing cartwheels every time she eliminated somebody. I said, this is what I love. I love to see, because you know what? It was the same thing how I thought about with her at the Evolution pay-per-view. It's kind of the same thing. You know, she was like the last one that got eliminated by Stephanie Vaquer. I said, you know what, Lash?
Yeah.
This could be yours.
We
This
gotta
could
talk.
be yours.
We gotta talk about this real quick, Eric. I know
Yeah.
I know we're running tight, but we had a big debate here when we were talking about why did So Rude think it. You know what? I'm gonna try to eliminate Tiffany Stratton with the doggone Soul Snatcher.
Yeah,
like,
the Soul Snatcher.
if
I
you
felt like that was okay.
Korrey said, "I'm out."
if you hit the soul, so what doesn't make sense about it is if you hit the Soul Snatcher in this moment, you're eliminated.
You're done.
I mean, because the way you were
Both of
leaning,
y'all be out the
there's
ring.
no way. I was sitting there thinking to
Korrey's
myself,
silly.
I was just like, nah, that ain't it. And I love it. She had a great look. Shout out to Soul. She had a great performance in there. But when she went to go do it, I said, that's not what you're gonna, because I saw her look at it, I'm like, right here? No.
Yeah.
What space do you think you were gonna eliminate you and Tiffany? And Liv was nowhere, she was like 4 or 5 feet away. You're losing the match.
Yeah.
She said, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. Why? Why? So why? What, man?
I'm gonna tell you why. Because she didn't have her dummy with her, Zarya, to let her know, hey, you probably shouldn't be doing this. I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's just been pissing me.
I'll just say this. I hope they're able to fill this arena next year for Rumble, because with the way that the Saudi crowd was when women were wrestling, I don't know, like, you know, you think about the Royal Rumble, not the Royal Rumble, but the WrestleMania being in that, you know, being there. Like, to me, that was a lot of. It was scary how empty the stadium looked to me. You know.
Well, I kept thinking something. I was like, "Is it the lighting? Is it?
It's the lights."
I could not figure that out, and I kept trying to look for bodies. I was like, "Bro, I
me
swear
too."
to God,
We can say, it can't be this way.
It's the lights. The way they did the lights, they had the lights making like a WWE logo in that spot in the background. So they switched it when they went to the next matches, and I'm like, well, now you can see the people. So it's like almost like you said, they didn't want the women to shine, so they cut the lights off, and it looked weird, and you just saw the people in the front row, but then the lights switched, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's what they did, but like it didn't make sense to me for why do this, but you know,
and then there was the botch right there with the three of them at the end where Tiffany Stratton actually caught Soul right before.
Oh yeah,
caught it right
she
there.
did.
Yeah. I was like, come on now, we already know when now Liv's gonna win because of this.
Yeah,
I didn't know that she was gonna do something like that, but yeah, and then.
Yeah, I figured you say that, Nicole. I get it.
I figured she'd say it too.
I get it, man. But as always, please make sure y'all follow all of our social medias. I tell y'all this all the time. Y'all already know what it is. Facebook, we on that. X, we on that. Instagram, we're on that. TikTok, on that as well. Hey, appreciate all the love support. Y'all been going crazy these last couple of days. And you know we had to do it for y'all, man. Look, giving y'all all this content. Look, and we say this all the time. I could not be more than grateful for all the subscribers, the followers, the love, you know, the likes, you know, everything y'all been doing. Appreciate everything. But, you know, y'all keep doing that, and we're going to keep giving you that content the exclusive way. Come on, man. You already know what it is. We got to update that picture. We got to update that picture, man.
We do. We do. We don't have to.
Before we go, shout out to Drew and Korrey.
Absolutely.
Satoba Media in the building where the struggle is real to be awesome. Shout out to the grind. You know, look, you guys do amazing work over there, Satoba, man.
Yes.
We appreciate y'all joining us for this. This was a lot of fun tonight, man. So before we get into our exit, hey, let people know about Satoba, where they can find you, about the grind, all that fun stuff, man.
Well, you can find myself and Korrey over at Sartoba Media, like you guys said, where the struggle is real to be awesome. I wish I would have busted up the championship. I would have known we were getting.
Yeah, what Big
getting to
Red
this
at?
point. Big Red's in the other room, and you already know how expensive of a week I've had. So it's like,
Yeah, Caleb.
this house. See, I got dehumidifiers in this house, air movers, a hot water heater busted. Yes, all sorts of wild stuff.
man.
So,
It's crazy.
Yeah.
work.
Oh,
Woo! But when it comes to Sartoba Media, you can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. The main page is where like you guys have stuff as well. I've been on hiatus for a little over a month, just started a new career. Korrey just brought his show back yesterday. It was absolutely great watching that and being a part of this with you guys today. Honor, joy, and privilege to be here, and also to make history on this show with what you guys told me when I first stopped doing it.
hey,
First ever,
Breaking
baby.
barriers.
Break the day.
First time.
Breaking
First time.
barriers.
come on,
Right here.
Diversity Day. Let's get it, boy.
Yeah.
2 hours before Black History Month. Let's get it. Look.
A trailblazer.
That's great.
Just to like piggyback off of Drew, you know, you can find us on Sartoba Media. I say where the struggle is real to be awesome each and every single day. You know, because we out here trying to get it. You know, appreciate the invite, fellas, coming in and be able to talk with you all. I don't know. In my brain, I'm like, maybe we could do something for WrestleMania, but that could be a conversation at a different point. You know,
Absolutely.
the grind, it's going to be at a different point. I'm going to put out a video here soon, kind of explaining how I'm going to do things. I am currently trying to finish my degree. That is the reason why I had to put some stuff.
Hey,
show
what's up, man?
There you go.
Doctor, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
They take
you know,
anything, they can't take that degree from you, man. That's the real thing.
yeah, and Darrell, you know where I work at, so it's been kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Trying to get back into things. We're trying to drop at least an episode or two a month, so that way we can kind of get things rolling again. Definitely appreciate Drew for the opportunity to be a part of, you know, his brand and his program. And I've been on Legacy Maker before, so definitely appreciate you guys bringing me back. But the grind stands for getting right. It's never done, so please make sure you are focused on you. Stay true to what you do, why you do, and always stay true to you.
Hoo-doo.
Hey, I love it. I absolutely
I love
love it. Thank you
Poetry
guys
in
so
motion. I
much
love
for doing this with us.
Yeah,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Really do. Love to see the crossovers, man. I be saying that all the time. Ain't nothing like those,
Yeah.
man.
And do we got to change one night Bates to 2 nights now? Because he was pretty active today.
Yeah, 2 night bait was in there. Ain't it?
Hey, 2 night Bates.
Yeah.
Two night baits.
Two
Now
night,
he's there for
3-time
2 nights
champ.
only. But
2
you
night,
can't get used to it,
3-time
baby.
champ. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He's like you only get 2 nights in there.
Look, I'm not mad about Bates getting. I ain't mad about him getting beaten a 3 times because at least it wasn't 3 years in a
Hey.
damn row.
Bro,
I know.
the streak,
I
the
tell you
streak is
Streak
over.
ended.
The
It's
streak,
over.
the
Yeah,
streak
we-
is
It's
over.
over. That's right. Hey, look, you call me Cody. I done had my damn I done had my
Quarterback.
story to finish.
All right, now.
I beat that tribal chief. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I beat that tribal chief. Crazy work. Crazy work.
Boy,
silly.
I tell you, boy. Oh, man. But as always, I'm your humble host, your man, your myth, your legend, Eric Knight. We had the legacy maker himself, Mr. Exclusive. We had the one man and the only man that could check into the Heartbreak Hotel. That's the Heartbreak Princess. And we have my man, Korrey and Drew here with us. Hey, thanks again, y'all, for being here with us, man. We really do appreciate
Thank you, fellas. Appreciate it.
it. Yeah,
Thanks
man.
again for having us.
Thank you, Diggy. We appreciate you being in the chat
Yes.
as well.
Nicole,
Yeah,
yes,
Nicole.
you
Yep,
know,
thank you.
Nicole, Bates, all y'all, man. We
Bates,
appreciate
yeah.
you guys being the
DJ in the
Land,
beginning.
all
Yep.
of y'all. Thank you.
Yeah, hey, and of course, Zach, you know, always
Zach.
giving us a national holiday, man. I
Always.
could-
National
Always.
Hot
Ain't gonna-
Chocolate
I
Day.
ain't gonna lie, you was on a hiatus for a good little minute, and then you done came back today. I said, look
Right.
who done brought themselves
Themselves
back.
back. There you go.
I said, man, go ahead, man. But we are the exclusive night, so we always ensure that we are the best there is,
Best there is,
the best there
best
was,
there was,
and the best
and
that
best
ever
there ever
will
will
be.
be.
Come on now.
And to ensure that your nights will never
Will never
be
be
the
the
same.
same.
Hey, that's true.
That's true.